What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on this 1996 Honda Accord, and I'm going to be doing a step-by-step on how to replace the wheel hub and the bearing in the front. Today we're going to be doing the passenger side, but the driver's side is the same thing. Here I already kind of got it started. I took the wheel off and the axle nut, and the best way to take the axle nut off is if you take the center cap off the wheel and then you set it back down on the ground. That way when you turn it, because if you do it like this, it's just going to spin on you. That way with the wheel on, it won't spin, and then you could get that torque on the axle nut. So now after this, there's two 17s that hold this brake caliper on. There's one here and then one back here on the bottom. So let's go ahead and take those off. Okay, now the brake caliper's off, and I also forgot to mention you're gonna have to take these two fasteners off that hold the brake line to the knuckle as well. And then I like to set this on either like the jack or a block, just so all the weight's not sitting on the line. Okay, after that we're also gonna have to remove this ABS line, and it's these two fasteners here, as well as these two 12s right here. Okay, now that the ABS line's out of the way, we can start focusing on this stuff. The upper control arm, the ball joint, this tie rod, which I already got out of the way, and then the lower ball joint down here, because we're gonna have to take this whole knuckle off of here to be able to replace the wheel hub. So to take these off, the best way and the easiest way, I think, is to grab a heavy hammer or a little mini sledge and just hit. So you want to hit what the ball joint goes into. So you want to hit the side of the knuckle here, not the control arm or the bottom here. And then same thing on the bottom. You want to hit the lower control arm right here, not the ball joint itself, to be able to pop it out of place. Now we're gonna have to take these fasteners off right here, which are 14s, and they hold the rotor to the wheel hub. And it honestly would have been easier, I think, if I would have left it on there first. That way I don't have to deal with it on the ground. But either way, we're gonna have to use something like this to hold it. So let's go ahead and take that off. You can see right away I abandoned the whole thing on the ground because it just moves around too much. So I just put it back on here. I just put all this back on just loose enough to be in place, as well as the tie rod, so I don't move left and right on you. And now I could just use this bar, and then I'll have a lot more leverage on here. Alright guys, you can see the rotor's completely detached now. Now we got to flip it over to the other side. Okay, now we got to take these off. It should have 4, obviously one's missing here. And then after we take these off, we can head over to the press so we can push out the bearing in the hub right here. Alright, this is one of the most frustrating things I run into, and it happens more than you would think. So here, obviously someone had already tried to replace this, and I think they couldn't, so they probably just got frustrated. And like, here, let me turn on this light. Look at this bolt, like there is no threads in the middle. they obviously got frustrated or something and just started jamming shit back together. So now after I press this bearing out and get the new one all situated, I'm gonna have to run over to Ace Hardware or something and see if I could find something like this. That way we could get the new one all squared away and done right. Alright, so to do this you need a press. There's really no other, I guess, easy way to do it. But so now I got this set up here on these 2x4s because on top of these plates, because then it'll give it enough room for the hub to fall out. But let's go ahead and give it a try. There it is, you can see, looks really good. And now I gotta go get those bolts from Ace Hardware because the other ones that I took off were stripped. Alright guys, I went to Ace and I got these bolts. They should work, they fit here pretty nice. So now I'm gonna take this Scotch-Brite here and clean off the inside of this lip right here, which is where this is gonna go. That way after that I can grease it and then we'll be able to run the bearing into the knuckle with the bolts. Here it is all tightened down, and as you saw I went one by one, just a little bit at a time on each, because you don't want to go too tight on one side because then you'll get it like all cattywampus in there and then it'll just mess the whole bearing up. So just go one bolt at a time, a little bit each time until it all sits flush and you're ready to go. Everything's tightened down. Just make sure, if you're going to use the method I use to tighten these down, make sure you put the lug nuts on the studs before you do it, because if not, the bar is going to just mess up the threads and then your day is just going to be ruined. So I got the tie rod tightened down, the upper control arm, the ball joint underneath. Now we just got to put this ABS line back on, the brake line back onto here, and the caliper, and then we'll be able to just put the wheel back on, tighten the axle nut, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, well there it is, the wheel's back on, everything is tightened down, the axle nut is tightened down, and the lug nuts. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if this helped you guys. Like, subscribe, and make sure you hit that like button if you liked the video, so I know that it helped you. And if there's something that I didn't cover, please mention it in the comments so I could work on it for next time. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Do what you love, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.